How to get along with virtually anyone. Hi everyone, this is David Turpin, and I'd like to share with you what might possibly be one of the best kept secrets about how to get along with virtually anyone. I can remember as a kid there were a lot of westerns on TV, and back in the 60s and 70s the western was one of the most popular styles, one of the most popular genres of television program. And I can remember watching shows like Bonanza and Gunsmoke and Maverick and Rawhide, and especially those shows that were shot originally in black and white. Because television programs about westerns and about cowboys in black and white made it easy to tell who the good guys were from the bad guys. Because the good guys always wore a white hat. And the brightest, the most white of all the hats came riding on top of the Lone Ranger. And not only did the Lone Ranger wear a white hat, but he also rode a white horse. You might say that he was the goodest of the good. When I got a little bit older, I can remember chopping wood with my dad. And he taught me a principle that he would repeat throughout my high school and into college, and even to this day, still brings it up on occasion. And that's the principle that everyone wears a white hat. And it's a simple principle, and it's something that it's key to remembering when you're having to work with another person. And any time that there is a discrepancy, any time that there is dissension, any time that there is tension or anxiety or disagreement, it's important to remember everybody's wearing a white hat. And all that simply means is that everybody is approaching the situation and approaching their life from the perspective that they're the good guy. That the way they believe, the way that they think, and the direction that they want to go and desire to go, and the decision that they think ought to be made is the right one. That what they believe is what's best not only for them, but for everyone else, because they're wearing a white hat, because they're the good guy. Now this is a principle and a truth that is effective and works because it's rooted in Scripture. It is a scriptural truth. It comes directly from Proverbs 21 verse 2, where God says, every man's ways seem right in his own eyes. See, every man believes, every person believes that they're the good guy, that they're wearing a white hat. So anytime you're in a small group, when you're working on a committee, or you're working with a coworker, or you're in a superior subordinate situation, or you just have disagreement with your spouse or in your family, it's always important to take the time to take a step back and remember everybody's wearing a white hat. They're not there with the sole intention of making your life miserable, of being a thorn in your side. Now, does that mean that you don't ever run across those people? No, obviously we do. Obviously there are times that we run across what you might refer to as a wolf in sheep's clothing. You might run across people who betray you, or you run across people who are in it to create dissension and to create division. But more often than not, more likely than not, the vast majority of the people that you encounter and that you work with, that you will have disagreement with, are not approaching it from the perspective of I'm out to get them, or I can't wait to give them my opinion and watch them cringe. They're approaching it from the perspective that they're wearing a white hat, that they're the good guy. So when you're working with another person and you find disagreement, one of the things to remember is to listen for understanding. Try to listen to understand their perspective and why they've come to the conclusion that they've come to. Because chances are real good that if they're coming to one conclusion given what you think is the same information that you have, and yet you can't seem to find agreement, chances are real good that they either have information that you don't have, or you have information that they don't have. And if you will listen for understanding, if you will listen for an opportunity to learn more about them and more about their perspective and why they are thinking the way that they're thinking, why that decision is the best one in their opinion, then you can find ways to bridge the gap. Because everybody's wearing a white hat.